making sense. I feel it in my skeleton. I know I'm intense, I'll cut the suspense. I'm here to take down everyone. I'm here to take down everyone. I'm here to rumble. I've got danger in my favor, like a razor. I'm here to rumble. Diamond breaker, it's my nature. Get ready for thunder, 'cause I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. Yeah, I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble now. I'm here to rumble. Listen to me now, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Listen to me now, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how, listen to me now. It's coming down to the two of us. I'm here to rumble. I'm here to rumble. I've got danger in my favor, like a razor. I'm here to rumble. Diamond breaker, it's my nature. Get ready for thunder. I'm here to rumble. I've got danger in my favor, like a razor. I'm here to rumble. Diamond breaker, it's my nature. Get ready for thunder.
And welcome to another edition of Off the Glass, the Oak Ridge High School basketball show. Joining me are two members of the Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats, as you see on your screen. You got Lauren Hart on the left there and Gracie Heron. Lauren is a junior, and so is Gracie. And girls, first off, thanks a lot for joining us here. We're going to show some highlights in a few minutes of your last couple ball games, but I want to talk to you first just about you all. Coach Taylor can't be with us today. Her son, what is he, fifth grade, I believe? He's got basketball practice, I believe, so she's not going to be here. Coach Green will be joining us a little bit later on, but talk about your basketball experience. When did you all first start playing basketball? I'll start with you, Lauren.
I guess Girls Inc. days, so I was probably like 6 or 7. I think me and you were on the same team, actually.
The same team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What made you decide that basketball was your sport, both of you?
I really don't know. I mean, I used to play softball.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I was very good at softball, so.
Gracie, you got a little height to you, so you're kind of a natural basketball player. But Lauren's a little smaller, guard size. But what about you? What made you decide that basketball was your sport?
It was mainly because of my height and my dad. Mike, he was always there, and it was just something I really liked when I was little.
Obviously, you all have started out really well. We were talking before we came on the air about kind of been on a roll. You've only lost a couple ball games to two very good teams, Stone Memorial and to Cleveland last week. Talk about those two games and why are you a better team now? Of course, the Cleveland game was only last week, but I mean, why are you a better team than you were in the Stone Memorial game?
Well, we put in a new defense, so those first games, I guess we didn't know it as well, so our defense has definitely gotten better. And I think our team chemistry on offense has gotten a lot better.
You know, both of you play different roles on the team. Gracie, you're a starter at post position. Coach Taylor says you're the only true post that she's ever had in the 6 years that she's been here. Have you adapted to your role? Lauren, you come off the bench. You come off the bench quickly, and you play a lot of minutes. I mean, you really basically only have like 6 players that play a lot. Emily Lindsay comes in every once in a while, and Kate comes in when mop-up situations. But how have you adapted to your roles? Because you all have to play a lot of minutes. Is it hard?
Not really. I mean, I get tired a lot, but I mean.
Is it because of the conditioning that you have to go through before the season that kind of puts you a little bit maybe, because last night I honestly thought that Powell was dying. I mean, you all were running them up and down the floor, and it looked like they were exhausted. You all looked like you could play another quarter. Could you play another quarter? Is it the conditioning in the off season before to get you ready for that?
Yes.
And just the style that Coach Taylor does?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you all like the conditioning? Nobody likes conditioning, but
It depends on what we do.
yeah, just going out on the track's not very fun though, is it?
No.
Let's roll some highlights. The first game we're going to see here is the Anderson County game. This game was played on Friday, and Anderson County's coached by Nikki Anasicki, and that's probably a little bit before your all's time, as she was a really, really good lady ball, played in the WNBA. You probably know that, but kind of a young program. I thought much better this time around than they were the first time. You could see some mass improvement. Could you all see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you see the most improvement in them?
They had more bodies
Yeah.
than last year.
Well, last year they only had like maybe 6 or 7 players total. And I remember last year you all played them to a game where I think they only scored 6 points the whole game. It's a school record. I mean, it's a school record, the fewest amount of points. This year, I mean, in this ball game, I mean, you beat them, fairly soundly, but I mean, they score a lot more than 6 points. Kamari Mitchell-Steen, just today I got my Miss Basketball nominee form, and I'm going to be one of the several that nominate. There's Lauren with a shot there. Lauren, that might have been your best ball game. This game. Would you agree with that?
I would say it's definitely one of my better ones.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me ask you about that. What would you consider to be a good ball game and one of your better ones? What things did you do well that you think that, and maybe you did better in another game?
I think really just when I play with confidence, I play a lot better, which, I mean, that's really
Is that mainly
obvious.
because, you're a role player. You didn't play much last year. I know you got an illness and you just didn't play quite as much. Is it just the opportunity to play?
I think the more playing time I'll get more comfortable and a lot more confidence with playing. So I think it's definitely helping.
Gracie, your situation is a little different too. I mean, you had a knee injury. I guess it was your freshman year. You got a chance to play some your freshman year, including, I think you played a little in Phoenix too, I believe, if I remember correctly. Confidence, is that a big part of your game, improving game?
Oh, definitely, because I got really, my sophomore year, I was really scared about my knee coming back. But, this year, I don't even, worry about it sometimes.
That's pretty normal. Football players are the same way. I mean, they tear up their knee, and, they're always afraid that one little twinge that it's going to blow again. But so you are, as Coach says, the only true post player that she has. Does that put a little pressure on you because you have to bang inside?
Yeah, I like hearing that from her. It's I know she has confidence in me.
She does. She's talked about that quite a bit here. And well, I was going to go back to Kamari here. Kamari, she just does what she does. I mean, she's quick, as Coach Jill Pruden used to say to me all the time. And she kind of makes your engine run, basically, your team. But you two will be coming back next year, and I'm going to talk about that actually when the highlights are over. But Kamari, is she fun to play with just by her style?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, when she was on the show the other day, she didn't talk a whole lot, but from what I understand, she talks constantly. But when she was on the show, she was very reserved. She answered the questions very politely, but Coach Taylor says she talks all the time. Is that the truth?
Yes.
But, she plays with a lot of confidence, too. I don't think she's ever lacked her confidence. There's Emily Lindsay out here. What kind of a player is she going to be for you in the future?
I definitely think she'll be a big factor for us next year.
I think, just my personal opinion, I think Samaj is going to have to really step up next year. She's had a great season this year. She's averaging about 15 points a ball game, as we're going to switch games here. This is from last night's game. Let's talk about this one. This game was between your team and Pal, one game separating you in the standings. They came to our place a couple weeks ago, and Samaj hit a couple free throws with about 3 seconds left, or could have had overtime, and they, who knows what could have happened in overtime. So it was a big ball game. Was there a lot of pressure? Did you feel any pressure going into this ball game?
Definitely.
Just because of their quality of play, or why?
The court and the people around me. It's just like it was.
Yeah, y'all got to play there last year too. I think if I remember correctly, against Powell last year, didn't they beat us at home and then we beat them at their place? Isn't that the way it was last year?
I think. Wait.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
you say? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's a pretty intimidating place to play, and they've got a really good team, good player. And number 3 right there, she's one of the better shooters in the state. I mean, she knocks down threes. She had 36 against you all the first time around. This time you did a better job on defense. Why was it a better job this time around?
I think we've gotten a lot. I just think our defense has gotten a lot better because we just put in that new defense, so we weren't really comfortable with it and as experienced. So we've played a few more games with it, so we've gotten used to it.
I heard you say something when we were off the air here, and I share your sentiments here. Kamari got into foul trouble last night, whether they were legitimate or not. But she got into foul trouble, 4 fouls. She hadn't been in foul trouble all year. I mean, there was the one game, all of a sudden she's got 4 fouls. This is in the third quarter when she got into foul trouble. Were you all nervous about that? I mean, like I said, she's your go-to person, you know. Were you all nervous?
Definitely, because she's really, I mean, without her, I would feel like we aren't us.
Yeah.
But, you know, when she was out of the ball game, I think you all extended the lead up. So obviously confidence was big last night, or was it just the desire that you wanted to beat Powell so badly?
We wanted to beat them really badly.
Are they our biggest rival?
I think Campbell County is more of a rival.
Really? I mean, I know Campbell County, especially your freshman year, was really good, and the year before you came, and last year, you had to deal with Madison Brady. Really, I think she's a tech now, isn't she?
Yes.
So she was a big girl and hard to deal with. And what was it like playing against her inside?
Oh, it was really scary, I'm gonna be honest. Like, she'd be down there, like, trash talking me for no reason. She'd be like, I'm gonna get you and all that. I'm like, oh my,
Are you a trash talker?
Not really, no.
What's the worst thing? I mean, just occasionally when they say something, you just let it go. I mean, that's probably the classy thing to do. But after a while, you just must get old.
I just look at them like, why? You know, like, I just look at them like they're stupid.
Well, I know there's one particular, we won't mention names, but there's one particular girl that we go against every once in a while that tends to be a little bit mouthy. How do you deal with that? Does that get in your head ever? Both of you?
Doesn't for me, but
I mean,
for her.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it does, but I really just try to let it roll off my shoulder because, I mean...
Well, I mean, that young lady she's a good player, the one we're talking about. She plays for Powell, and she shoots the ball really well. But last night your defense was really good, I thought, on her. I thought all of you all stepped up, and I don't know if it was the best game as a team you played, but it was certainly one of your better ones defensively. How big was it for you all? You know, I watched you all come off the court last night, and it looked like business as usual. Game's over, we won. What was it like in the dressing room? I mean, does it mean much to beat them on a regular season night? Because I'll tell you what the importance of the game was in a minute. But how important was it? Were you all excited in the dressing room?
Yeah, I mean, because this technically means that it doesn't really mean that, but if we beat the next few teams that we play, then we host district.
Right.
So, I mean, it was big.
Well, I'll tell you the scenario there. If you play Carnes tomorrow, I think it's a 6 o'clock game at our place. That was a makeup game from way back in December. If you beat them, you can finish no worse than second. That eliminates Halls, actually, from being in the championship, so that leaves you in Powell, 1 and 2. And top 2 teams go to get a first-round bye in the district. Did you all know this? You get a first-round bye in the district tournament, so you don't have to play in that first round. So you're automatically in the semifinals of the tournament, which means you've qualified for the region tournament. That's what tomorrow means. And, you know, without even playing, you could lose 2 games in the district tournament. It's not going to happen. But you're still in the region tournament, which, that's where you want to be. So like Coach Green always says, the games, the season are like scrimmages. It doesn't matter until tournament time. How important is it to host the district tournament and win the championship to you all?
I mainly just want to stay at home. Like, I don't want to drive somewhere and get like tired, and I'd rather have my own locker room too.
Like Warren?
I mean, just home court, We practice there every day, so we get used to it. And I usually get tired in the car, so.
Well, the scenario too, okay, so if you beat Carnes tomorrow, you'll get that bye, so you're in the region, but you're still not district champions yet, because Powell is still only 2 games behind you, and you'll have 3 to play. If you win the ball game tomorrow and you go to Clinton on Friday and you win that ball game, you are the district champions. I mean, even if you were to lose to Carnes on Tuesday, then Campbell County later on, Powell couldn't catch you because you beat them twice. So you had to. So these next 2 ball games are really, really important. And what that also means, for the first time in 44 years, a team will host the district tournament in back-to-back years. I mean, we hosted it last year. It was our turn. Because of COVID this year, the district champion does. So you'll be a little, kind of a very trivial trivia, but it hadn't happened in 40 years. So, and this year in particular, if you win the district, we get to host the region as well. So, I mean, you could be staying at home the entire postseason, which is unheard of. And obviously, that's where you want to be. Well, let's talk about you all. I've got some questions for you. I've had some questions for you before. And these are the Dave questions that I ask you. And I'm going to ask each one of you, each individually answer each question. And you remember doing this last year, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Where is your favorite go-to restaurant?
Firehouse.
Gracie?
Chick-fil-A.
I think Samaj came in here a couple of weeks ago, and she said Olive Garden and all the most expensive restaurants you could possibly go to. And so most people say Chick-fil-A or something like that. What has been the worst part about this basketball season playing in the pandemic? Each one of you.
I guess really just not being able to have your friends come watch you, your family, other than like your household. So, I mean, that sucks.
My dad doesn't really get to come because of his sickness, so it's like sad.
Well, what is it like playing it? Like last night, I've been at PAL all your all's lifetime watching basketball games, and that crowd, it was so quiet. Sometimes I thought I was the only one talking in the entire gym. What is that like? It's like being in practice sometimes, or AAU or scrimmages. Is that the way it feels to you all sometimes?
Definitely.
Have you gotten used to it, or is it just once the game starts you don't pay attention?
I don't ever pay attention that much.
But I'm sure you miss playing the Wildcat Arena pack, though.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what's that like, incidentally?
I just know, like, everybody's, like, cheering me on if I make a layup or something. And I just feel loved by everybody.
And like you said, your friends can come and watch you play. That's the sad part about it. Nobody in the high school can come watch you play right now. And, it just stinks. It really does. What things do you think Coach Taylor thinks you need to work on the most? Warren? I know what David thinks.
Shooting more.
That's what David
more
thinks.
Confidence.
You hit a big 3 last night. I mean, it was on the highlights a moment ago. It was late in the ball game. When they were coming back up, you hit a big 3. Do you have confidence in that shot?
I think, yeah.
Well, Gracie, I'm going to come back to the same question, but I'm going to pursue this for a second because last night you shot a 3, you missed it. I think Gracie or somebody got the rebound, kicked it right back out, and you shot it again, which is not Lauren Hart like. I mean, usually it's what made you have the confidence to want to take that shot last night?
Well, last PAL game I really got trash talked a lot, so I really just wanted to show them, like...
What kind of stuff did they say?
Just, like, telling their team to leave me open and that to trap me because I'm the only one who sucks.
Oh, really?
Just trash.
Well,
they're just sore losers.
You showed them. I mean, yeah, you showed them. Gracie, same question to you.
Get stronger down low. and like finishing all my layups and my shots.
You have a nice shot, though. I mean, are you a gym rat and you spend a lot of time shooting?
I used to before COVID.
Oh, really? Okay. It tells. You've got a really, and Coach Taylor said last week, you have a pretty shot, and that's what she said. So if you won the lottery, what would be the first things you would buy?
Probably clothes. I'll probably travel a lot.
That sounds fun, Gracie.
I'd probably get a bunch of shoes and clothes.
Yeah, well, that's typical girl answer. The guys are cars and things like that, but I get that. What is the best season of the year for you all? Like winter, fall, spring, summer?
I like playing in the winter,
Do you?
like in December, because my birthday's there.
Okay. Lauren?
I like summer
How come?
because it's warm. I really don't like the cold.
Anything scare you? Either one of you?
Bugs.
Bugs?
Yeah, I don't like spiders.
Okay. Who are your favorite sports teams?
I like the Nets.
Okay.
I like Golden State and Tennessee.
Do you like any other sports besides basketball?
I like to watch football.
You know, Lauren, your dad played baseball and football at the high school. Do you like those sports?
Yeah, I mean, they're fun to watch.
Yeah. But well, obviously you don't play it. But, what is the best part about playing basketball at Oak Ridge High School?
We're like a family now. Like, we do almost everything together. Like, me and Samaj, Kamari, and Hope, we'll all go out to eat after a practice, and it just builds something all together.
Okay, Lauren.
Really, just like she said, like, we're all just really close. Coach is a good coach, so.
How hard is she on you all? Is she hard on you all sometimes, or
Yes.
because she wants you to be better, not because she dislikes you, or
Yeah.
that's what most players say, that you understand when she gets on you because it's trying to make you better. How hard was it for you all not to go on these trips that she had plans to go to Orlando, Virginia Beach, Greenville? How hard was it not to go to these places this year? I know you had to be looking forward to it.
It was really upsetting because we could have got closer then until, like, we all could have been like with Paige, we could have been closer with her and Emily since they weren't
Right.
with us last year.
Right. What is your favorite gym, each one of you? What's your favorite gym besides our gym to play in?
I like to play at Anderson County.
Okay.
Campbell County.
Yeah, why Campbell County?
Because usually it's always packed, even for a girls' game.
Right. That's Coach Taylor told me the other day that's her favorite gym to coach in because of that same reason. Why Anderson County?
Well, I have a few friends on the teams, so.
Who on the team is most likely to become a coach?
Hope.
Yeah, Hope.
How come?
Like, in a game, she'll tell me what to do, and it makes sense. So she's, like, really good at it.
Is that what typical point guards do?
Yeah.
Lauren, can you play the point?
I mean, I do if I need to, but I'm really just.
Are you more of a
Shooting guard.
shooting guard?
Yeah.
Okay, and Gracie, we know what you are. Gracie, I do the stats after every single ball game to give to Coach Taylor, and there's 1-0 that is in your column. It's 3-point shots. You're 0 for 0. Will Coach Taylor, will she ever let you shoot a 3? I thought you were going to pull up last night and shoot one, actually. You stopped. I was like, she's going to shoot. No, she's not. No.
I play around in practice when we do it, like, and shoot a 3, but I don't think I should ever.
Jonathan Millway has 22, and he's a post.
I think she should shoot.
I would.
Does she have a good shot from 3?
Yes.
Well, you ought to just try it someday. I mean, just Of course, you might get pulled out real quick, but maybe if the score is
I'll probably do it against Anderson County next time.
well, hopefully you'll get a chance. I don't know if you'll play them again this year. Obviously, both of you will be back next year, hopefully. On this coaching staff, who is the good cop and who is the bad cop, if you know what I mean by that?
Coach Trent's good cop.
And Coach Taylor's the
Yeah.
bad cop. That's kind of the way it normally is. The head coach is usually the person that has to be the bad cop. Final question here. What will it take for you all to win a state championship?
To grow from where we were from last night. Like, we don't need to settle here, and we need to keep moving on.
Okay, Lauren?
I really think we just need to play together, have good chemistry, keep working, and I think we can make it.
I wanted to ask you one more thing. I thought about this earlier. The Cleveland ball game, and I didn't get a chance to ask you about the Cleveland ball game. Are they the best team you've played, or was Stone Memorial the best team so far? Or is
I
Powell?
feel-
I mean, you might have somebody else.
I feel like Stone was better than. I feel like we should have beat Cleveland.
Okay.
I think the same.
Well, you had to go against that girl. Was she going to Belmont? I think that.
Yes.
She's taller. She's much taller than you. In fact, you look small compared to her. How tough was she to go against?
I was not expecting any of that at all because I've never played against. Definitely from our district, I've never seen anybody like that.
Do you think your schedule playing these tougher teams, like Cleveland, like Stone, you're going to play Fulton, and you're going to play Cleveland again? Do you think that's going to help you come tournament time?
Definitely.
Can you get to the state tournament?
I feel like we can.
Girls, anything you'd like to say before we close it out here? You say hi to your family. They might be watching.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mama.
We appreciate Lauren Hart and Gracie Heron for joining us here on Off the Glass. Girls, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break now. We're going to switch gears. We're going to move over towards the boys' side of things. Coach Aaron Green is joining us here along with Jonathan Stewart. We'll be back with more of our show in a moment.
Everything we do is in search of more go. If it can withstand 0 degrees, can it go -20? If it can run through 5 inches of water per hour, can it go to 6? We go. So it goes. So you can go. It's hard to stop a train.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop. Because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Train extreme conditions testing. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling.
And welcome back to Off the Glass. Joining me is the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Aaron Green, and we got Jonathan Stewart. He's all by his lonesome over there in the hot seat. Well, Jonathan, we'll come to you here in a moment, Coach. This week was a little bit less, I guess you did so far since we last. Well, you weren't on the show last week, but you had two ball games, Anderson County, and last night the Powell Panthers, and. You've been on a little bit of a roll here. I think you've won 8 or 9 in a row since the Webb loss. You got to be feeling pretty good about your team this stage of the year.
Yeah, I was had a Zoom meeting today with Mark Packer, and he was talking about we've got a little bit of a run going here. I think those 3 games at Alcoa helped us. Even though as rough as they were coming off of quarantine, I wasn't there, had guys out. I mean, I thought those games helped us, and we have was able to get back on the practice floor, and I thought we've gradually gotten better since that Webb game till now. Probably not where we're not there yet. I don't know if we'll ever get there in my mind, but we have gotten a lot better on both ends of the floor, and guys are playing better. And your goal as a coach is try to hopefully continue to improve, and then maybe try to get hot at the right time to end the year.
Jonathan, how do you feel about the team right now?
Chemistry's getting better, practice is getting better.
What about your game?
I'm getting back into things.
We're gonna talk more with you in here in a few short moments. Why don't we roll the highlights from the Anderson County ball game? There's Jonathan right there.
Stuart. I say Stuart Jonathan, but Stuart had a really good game here. He he made 3 threes, and I think led us in scoring with 17. And Jonathan's been the guy that, in my opinion, has been the one of the most consistent we've had with his effort, how hard he's playing. He's usually guarding the other team's best player on the guard at the guard position. So. And he's playing with confidence. I think, last year he led us in assists. He's right around that and doing that again this year. He's one of our better passers and can shoot it, and he's one of our better defenders. So he had a really good game here, and there was one of his threes there in the first half. And again, like I've talked about a lot, I mean, you've got to be able to have good balance to be really good offensively. You got to be able to score it inside and out, and Stewart gives us that opportunity to stretch the floor, which opens up Millway more and opens up guys to get to the offensive glass. So, but this was one of his better games he had this year.
Was it because of the way they were guarding him, or was it just nothing against him? I mean, just sometimes
Yeah, I think Stewart. All of our kids know they need to be aggressive. I want them to be aggressive as far as shot selection and stuff. I played for a guy in college that you're always looking over your shoulder. Kevin O'Neill, was that a bad shot, a good shot? So I've never wanted to coach that way. And I'll every now and then say, hey, that's a bad shot. But, I want him to be aggressive. Stuart's a smart kid. He understands what we do and understands our system. And he probably feeds the post better than anybody that I've got. And he plays hard. So when you do those things, you get a lot more freedom on offense. And, I think it's a combination when guys make shots. Kel here is finding him. There's Lucas for a 3. It's a combination of maybe them putting a little bit more attention on Millway down inside, or more attention toward Jeremy, or whatever it may be. And that's what we've really stressed the last couple of weeks, is just offensively take what the defense gives you. If they're going to put 2 or 3 guys on Millway down inside, let's move it, find the open guy, and shoot it with confidence and get to the offensive glass. So, good team effort.
There's Jeremy right there. He's approaching 1,000 points. I thought maybe he would do it on Friday. He still could. I think he's 24 points away from 1,000 in his career. And Jonathan's over 80 3-pointers in his career, which is pretty good. Stafford, I think he had a good night that night as well. You continue to have different people step up each night. It seems like each night there's somebody different.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought Stewart played really well this game, and then last night Lucas had a good night as far as shooting it. A lot of times as fans, and we really obviously see the guys that are making the shots and scoring points, but a lot of times stuff behind the scenes like Stafford getting to the offensive glass, guys doing what they're supposed to defensively. That's what I look for as a coach. And, I think, like you said, here's Flip with a steal. We have a number of guys that could lead us in scoring each night, and we've probably had, I guess if you break it down, we've had different leaders scorers probably most nights. Sometimes it's Millway, sometimes it's Stewart, sometimes it's Miller, Jeremy, sometimes it may be Kel. Lucas, Jameson Updegrass, had some good games. He played well. He's played well as of late as well. So, we've got, in my opinion, we've got 7 or 8 guys that could probably start. So I think we've got that many starters. So I don't just necessarily think it's just our 5 that we start the game with.
So last night's ball game, obviously against Pal. It's just so weird to be in that gym with so few people in there. I mean, that scene right there is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here 11 years, and we've had some really exciting games over there. Usually, obviously, their gym's not too big, but it's a loud gym. It's a fun place to play, and like most of the places we play, it's just different. There's nobody. It's almost like a summer league game, but kind of gotten used to it really at this point. One unique thing, Pal's benches, they moved to the other side, so that was a little different. But again, it's something our kids have really kind of gotten used to, honestly. So, just going to these clips. There's Jameson with a steal. I thought for about 2.5, 3 quarters, I thought we played fairly well. There's a good move by Middleway. We spent a lot of time on skill work the last couple of weeks. That showed there. But yeah, I mean, as far as we got it inside, I thought there's a good pass that was Stewart throwing it in there then. So. Stafford made a couple threes. Here he is on a step through, and he's played well. Probably wasn't one of his better games last night defensively, but he's played well too. And there's Kale finding Lucas, but Lucas had 4 threes. He had one. I don't know if it'll make Sports Center or not. But he had right inside half court, 10 to third quarter. There's Stafford with a 3. So, as long as we're sharing the ball, I mean, you're not going to play perfect. There's Stewart again on a post entry to Millway on a play call to try to get it inside, but you're not going to play perfect. Our guys are not the same. Looks like the same play, but back-to-back possessions. But and just to give you an example, Millway was open because Lucas had made some threes. They couldn't help on the backside because Lucas was there. So our guys are playing unselfish. We're sharing the ball. We're moving the ball. Again, we're not playing perfect, but. I don't know if you'll ever get to that point, but I think as long as you play hard and you share it offensively, I think obviously good things are going to happen.
Here comes Kel down the floor. Kel, it's kind of interesting that your point guard the last 2 years has not led your team in assists.
Yeah, I mean it's and our point guards really since I've been here all been really good point guards. I think it's not a bash on them at all. We just we've got a lot of guys that can pass it, and a lot of times. We have certain play calls where, sometimes a lot of Stewart's, if you think about some of Stewart's assists, going to come on out-of-bounds plays. We score on a lot of out-of-bounds plays where he's the inbounder, so there's a lot of factors, too. There's a shot right there in the third quarter. Put us up 27 to go into the fourth. We won't talk about the fourth quarter, Dave. I'm just kidding. You may not want to. You may bring it up. But when he let it loose, I thought, man, it's got a chance to go in, and it did. So. But again, I thought there was another example of us sharing the ball. I think 4 people touched it. 4 layup, Nick Dallas with the finish. There's Caden, who's battled a little bit of a knee injury there with the finish. It's good to see him get some minutes and get back in there. There's DJ Osborne here in the corner. There's Flip with a bucket. And Flip can do that. He's had spurts where he's played really well. And here we are kind of late in the game. Just, had to put our starters back in there to finish it off. But there's Stewart on a drive. They're late. But Pal's got a good team. I mean, they didn't I don't know where that was at.
That one didn't count. that was Jonathan Milloway's dunk at the end. I just put that on there because I didn't put his dunk on last week because the camera. It's not Jonathan. It's not my fault. The camera guy was changing batteries, and it was your best dunk. Jonathan Milloway's sitting back there. It was your best dunk of your career, I think, too.
Where's that one?
No, well, that was pretty good, but that one didn't count. But whatever game, it was a home game.
Against Anderson. Was it Anderson County?
Yeah. So that was.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So you secured yourself number 2 right now in the district with your victory. You can finish no worse than 2, and if the format remains the same at the district tournament, that means you get an automatic bye in the first round of the district. So you're already in the semifinals, which means you're already in the region. So that was a big win. Last night.
Yeah, it always takes the pressure off. I mean, if you're automatically in the region, and we don't really talk a lot about it with our guys, honestly. I mean, we're just trying to get better each day, and when we say focus on the process, we really are. But we did see, if you finish 1 or 2 in our district, you're automatically in the region because you get biased to the semifinals in the district tournament, which is a big deal. I mean, you can always get knocked off in some of those elimination games. I've seen it happen a lot. So it's a big deal just to get yourself into the region. And then, of course, this year with the COVID, they've basically changed it for the higher seed will host the lower seed. So if we finish, say we finish first, then, if we play the fifth place team, that will be at Oak Ridge High School. And if we win that game and then play the second place team, that will be at Oak Ridge High School. And then it's our district's term to host the region. So, you could pretty much play at Wildcat Arena, really, as long as you're winning, pretty much.
All the way to the state tournament.
All the way to
Y'all get the sub-state or go all the way?
And we've been fortunate enough to have that circumstance a lot the last decade, really. We've times we've hosted. Our district swept one year, and we got to host it the year we wasn't supposed to, as far as the region. So it's a big deal. I was thinking, hopefully, that they may open stuff back up. We can have a little bit more fans, but I don't know if that'll happen. But either way, I think most teams would say they're kind of used to it at this point as far as the crowds.
Coach, I'm going to talk about your next ball game, Clinton, on Friday. I'm going to talk to Jonathan here a bit. Jonathan, let me ask you about that. Coach just said you've gotten pretty much used to playing in front of nobody. I know you're kind of a guy that I think kind of feeds off the crowd a little bit. What is it like for a guy like you to not have a crowd to play in front of?
That just tells me I got to come out and play. I don't need no crowd just to come out and play.
Yeah, and I get that for sure. But, a crowd, I don't know, the girls were just telling me a few minutes ago that to them, Coach, both of you, what bothers them the most about it is their peers can't come. The students at the high school, their parents are always there. That's a given, grandparents, whatever. But it's a little bit different when you don't have your peers there. What's it like? I'll come back to you on that. What's it like not having any students there?
It's a little bit dead. It's like it's not fun, but at the same time it is fun. But it's just that the fans make the game more interesting, and it hypes everything up.
Well, Coach, you said some of your greatest experiences in your life, being.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. Thinking about crowds at high school games. So my mom was a teacher at McMinn Central, and McMinn Central was in our district. Mm-hmm. So that was one of our biggest rivals, and they always had great student sections. So of course my dad was my coach. So when we played at McMinn Central, packed student section, it was chanted the whole game, "Daddy's boy, Daddy's boy," and I always remember that. Until still this day, I didn't like it, but that's kind of why you play, Thinking back on that was a fun experience. And I know I have to tell our guys, ignore the student section, but it's kind of fun, when you go. And I was fortunate enough playing SEC in some of those student sections. Wow. Especially at Florida, because they're right there on the side, right there on you. I think it's changed now. It was the old Connell Center, but those are the things you remember. And it's unfortunate that these guys, not getting to experience that. But but again, thinking on the positive side, we are getting to play the games, and I've had students come up to me in the hallway and say, "Hey, Coach, you think they're ever going to let us back in?" Right. So it's just you really don't kind of get tunnel vision, don't really think about some of those things, but. Just very unfortunate, but again, I'm just thankful we are having an opportunity to actually play.
I remember when Tyler Summit was playing for Webb, he got Mama's Boy, and that was the chant that he got.
He was probably proud of that.
Right, Pat Summit obviously was his mother. And I remember when she came to the gym to watch him play. I mean, nobody was watching the game. It was autograph picture constantly.
Yeah. And she probably didn't turn down a one.
No, she didn't.
No, Pat, no.
Jonathan, this season, last season, we'll talk about. Last season, you didn't get a chance to go to the state tournament after a phenomenal run up to the beating Science Hill. What was that like for you?
Ooh, that game right there, that game was fun. It was very electric, and it had so much energy. We had so much energy. Coach Green, I ain't never seen Coach Green that happy. Coach Green about jumped out his socks, but that game was fun.
Was it a lot of it because, a lot of people didn't think that you were a state tournament team at the beginning of the year. Was that part of it maybe for both of you? I'll ask both of you that question.
Yeah, it was. We had to prove everybody wrong, so that's what we did.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought last year's team, I don't think going into the season, I don't know if people thought we were a state tournament team. I think we did. I did. But that Science Hill game was, you've been involved in a lot of sectional sub-state games over your career. I don't know how many you've been involved in.
About all of them.
Yeah, as far as girls and boys, probably 30, 40, 50.
30 probably.
Those are the ones you remember,
Yeah.
because it's a lot on the line, opportunity to go to state tournament, and that was the best game we played all year against a really good team. Guys played loose. They played with confidence. They played hard, and we executed. I mean, just a fun game to watch. My father-in-law's in town. Dennis Ryden was at the game. And he just, after he said, man, that was fun to watch. Man, that was fun to watch. And it's just, that was one of the more memorable games. And then, to have it not being able to go, we've talked about it, was just, it's just tough. That's a state tournament's something you always remember a lifetime in your life, and just having that robbed from them is just a tough one. So maybe we can try to get back there. I know I'm pretty confident, knock on wood, that unless something crazy happens, we will have a state tournament this year. I just don't know exactly where that will be, but I think we'll have it.
Jonathan, you're a senior. Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Now you'll be
I see
38.
38.
37, right? Yeah.
Hopefully playing in the NFL. About to retire.
Okay, that's a good answer. I mean, whether that's happens or not, that's a good goal. I mean, you're a two-sport guy at Oak Ridge. You and I talked during football season. I'm not going to ask you to tell you what sport you like best, but I guess the answer I normally get is depending on what sport. Millway says whatever sport's in season at the time. But is that kind of the way you are?
Yeah, I just focus on one sport whenever the season comes.
In a zombie apocalypse, Jonathan Stewart, which one of your teammates would you like to have with you?
Millway. Jonathan Millway.
How come?
He's tall. I can just stand right behind him and let him just lead everything to kill everybody.
Do you get more excited for a three-pointer or a touchdown?
Touchdown.
A touchdown, you
Yeah,
said?
touchdown.
What about those 7 you hit against Clinton? Does that kind of rival that?
Yeah, it
I'd
does.
say so, especially against Clinton. Is Clinton our biggest rival? Who's our biggest rival right now?
Clinton.
Why is that?
As Coach Green said, he don't like him, so.
Don't say that. He respects them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And Clinton don't like us either.
Right, that's true. What is a surprising fact that somebody might not know about you that like you have an ability to do?
I can draw.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I should have asked you to bring some of your drawings. We could have displayed them here. Like, is that something? Would you pursue that? Is that something you might pursue as a career, maybe?
No, not really. I just do it when I'm bored or have nothing to do.
Where's your go-to restaurants?
Red Lobster.
Who is the hardest person on the team to guard in practice?
Millway.
How come?
He's 7 foot. I can't do nothing about it.
Does anything scare you in life?
Snakes.
Snakes. What team do you love playing the most?
Clinton.
Just because they're the rival?
Yeah.
How many pair of shoes do you think he goes through during a season stomping his feet on the...
All of them. All of them.
I mean, does that get your attention?
Yeah, it does. It did when I was like my sophomore year, junior year.
Now you kind of ignore it a little
Yeah.
bit.
I can't whistle. Phil Jackson was
Right.
I can't do that, so that's my way of getting them. Because you lose your voice and you're trying to, hey, yeah, right.
When did you first start doing that?
The stomp?
Yeah.
Probably when I first started coaching. Of course, when I first started coaching, I had the hard sole shoes now. Now I've got the soft sole shoes, so I don't do it quite as much.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math, okay. Contrast the different styles of Coach Green and Coach Gaddis in terms of how they yell at you.
Coach Gaddis, he's just a laid-back coach. He'll let the position coach do all the yelling, and he'll just lay back. With Coach Green, he doesn't care. He's on you regardless. You like it or you don't.
Coach, one thing you've said for years that we've had this show and on the radio, you wouldn't be yelling at him if you didn't care about it.
No doubt. No. And these upperclassmen know that. Some of the upperclassmen, they like you said, up until sophomore year, he kind of finally figured it out. But it's just that when we cross those lines, it's business and trying to get better. And if coach is saying something to you, whether it's an assistant trying to make you better, regardless of how it's been said or at what tone, trying to make you a better player.
Are you like have to be sometimes a psychologist, psychiatrist? Because certain kids can take it and certain kids can't.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you gotta know your players. I mean, and they've got to trust you that you have their best interest at heart. And I think most of our kids know that. So, if that's the case, then they'll let you get on them.
Jonathan, are you a lesser trash talker than you used to be?
Yeah.
Stafford, Jonathan Millway says no. Stafford, Jonathan Millway, and Jeremy, they dunk all the time. Last week on the show, Jeremy told me that you're close to it. Are we ever going to see you dunk it in a ball game?
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting.
I'm gonna get there. I mean,
last one here. What part of your game do you think Coach Green thinks you need to work on the most?
Defense.
Coach?
Yeah, all of them defense.
Okay. I mean, what part?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I mean, of course, if you ask me that for probably any of them, I would say that just because that's something that we take a lot of pride in, and you probably never really get to a level where you've got it figured out. So that's obviously something we're always trying to improve.
Jonathan Stewart, do you read books?
For English class, yeah.
Okay, you don't read it.
Once he has to.
Well, who are your favorite sports teams and favorite athlete of all time?
My favorite athlete of all time is Michael Jordan, and my favorite team is. You talking about NFL? Or
any sport.
NFL, the Dallas Cowboys.
Coach says, like we said earlier, he doesn't tell you that you can't shoot. He's just not going to, coach you. What makes you decide to shoot a three? Sometimes you're open and you don't shoot a three. Is that dictated by what? What makes you decide to pull up and shoot a three?
It depends on how I'm feeling, like in the game. Like sometimes I shoot one that I shouldn't shoot one, or I not shoot one that I should shoot one. So it's just like I shoot it when I need to, and when I don't need to, I'll pass it off to like Lucas. Lucas was hot last night, so I wouldn't shoot a bad shot when he been on fire, so I just pass it off to him.
Well, that was my next question. In a three-point shooting contest between you, Lucas, and Jonathan, who would win that one?
Oh, if I'm being serious, me. If I'm not playing, I'm being serious.
I was kidding, Jeremy. Jonathan Millway has more threes than Jeremy does. Does that surprise you?
I don't know. But, I mean, they both can shoot it. Millway's, Millway can shoot it. Jeremy can shoot it. I'm not sure about attempts. They're probably about the same in attempts. Probably pretty close.
His percentage is really high.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
His first career. So.
Yeah. Like when he shoots it, he makes a good decision. So you and Lucas, though, I mean, a little bit more. Who's the better three-point shooter there? I'm going to ask Lucas the same question in 2 weeks. Okay.
Me?
Because they're both good.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to have both of them.
They both can shoot it.
Yeah. Coach, or actually Jonathan, what's your favorite memory so far playing ball at Oak Ridge, whether football, basketball, whatever?
Favorite memory? Going to state for football. That'll never leave my mind. That feeling I had.
What about basketball so far?
Basketball, so far. The Science Hill game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
The Science Hill game or the Clinton game. That'll hit the game.
You had a pretty good shot in that Clinton game. You're playing Clinton Friday. It's a big ball game. You win it, you're the district champs. Obviously, winning a district championship on your rival's floor would be a lot of fun, would it not?
Yes, sir.
What will it take for you to win a district championship, maybe win a region championship, and get back to the state tournament?
Just focusing in on the process. Just doing everything Coach Green tells us to do. And if we do everything he tells us to do, we'll win.
Coach, well, actually, one more question, Jonathan. Somebody asked me to ask you this. Each year, your hair has changed. Your hair has been different every season you have played. What determines, in Jonathan Stewart's mind, how he's going to wear his hair during the season? It's a question you don't get asked much on a show.
If I don't like it when I wake up, then I just put it up. Or like I ask my mom to twist my hair, or I just wear it like this. So it's just however I come.
I wish I could wear mine like that, I'll be honest.
Jonathan, anything you'd like to say before we close it out?
No, but hey, Wildcat family.
Coach, got about 2 minutes to go here. Jonathan, thanks a lot for joining us here.
Thank you.
You got Clinton coming up Friday. You can win the district championship with a victory. That means you'll get a chance to host those tournament ball games. And you have that bye already. But it's like the girls told me a little while ago, it's just so much better to be at home. You play all the way through. How big is this game Friday?
Well, it shouldn't be a game. You have to, get our guys, tell them they have a chance to win the championship. I bet you're playing Clinton, so just like they're playing Oak Ridge. So I think both teams will be ready to play. I've got a lot of respect for Clinton. They've got a good team. I think Coach Lockert does a great job. They've got some weapons. I think they're 11-3 now, 10-3, and 2 losses in the district, 1 to us, and I had a loss at Halls, but. They've got a lot of weapons. It's not just Jackson Garner. They've got guys that can shoot it and drive it around him. When we played them here the first time, they were missing one kid that's a starter that plays inside. So, I remind our team today. We were very, very fortunate to win over there last year. Matter of fact, if we were completely honest, I thought we were fairly lucky. I mean, the shot he made was good, but. Very fortunate. So, so you got to be ready to play. But I think both teams will play hard and be motivated. It's going to boil down to execution and, and whether or not we're going to defend the way we're supposed to defend and who can, try to, I guess, impose their will as far as how they're wanting to play the game. But it should be, I hate not going to have the environment. This will be one of those games where it would be packed. I'm not going to have that, so that's something we'll miss for sure. But either way, whether it's just refs and coaches and players in there, it'll be a good game.
Coach, it's going to be weird next year when we're not playing Clinton for a district championship. They'll be in a different classification. We will not be with them next year.
Yeah, I thought about that after we played Anderson County. That maybe could be one of the last times we play over there in a while. And I'm hopefully we can keep that Clinton Oak Ridge rival game going, depending on their schedule and our schedule. But something I hadn't really thought about is could this be the last time we play them in a while? You just never know.
Same with Halls too.
Same with Halls. So. A lot changing next year as far as those district alignments, and but again, just as a player, these are the games you enjoy playing. Those are the games you enjoy getting ready to play, and should be a fun one.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you,
Jonathan. Thanks a lot for joining us. That does it for our edition of Off the Glass, the Oak Ridge Basketball Show. Once again, the ball game is tomorrow, or the girls play Carnes tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Girls only ball game. Then Friday. At the Donnie Dome, the Don W. Lockert Gym, Clinton, Tennessee, the Wildcats and the Dragons will be there with the broadcast as well. Thanks for dealing in the back. Until next week, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing